running quarterback right out of the chute. Can you just talk about what you've seen on film about Cordero?
Yeah, just real slippery. Has can make a bad play good. And so that's. Anymore, the surprise is a defense to say you got a scrambling quarterback. If you're surprised by it in this day and age, it's our expectation every single week. It doesn't make it any easier to defend. And so, both found the ability to get yards downfield, just extend plays, and Bandit thins you out, in every which way. And so it's easy to say to spy a guy and all that stuff. That means you're not rushing as many as you like to rush, or you're not putting as many guys in cover. So yeah, it gives you major fits. So it always has and always will.
What was the big factor in moving Lucas from rushing into DN late in camp?
Yeah, just continue to move guys around, trying to get the best 11 on the field. I mean, none of those edge positions for us are so similar. And so, from a job description standpoint, we feel very confident moving guys back and forth, and best, trying to get the best, I guess, 4 in the front and then the best 4 behind them. And so whether to the field or to the boundary, 2-point stance or 3-point stance, trying to be multiple that way. And so he's a guy that can do both those things, as other guys as well. So we expect him to play both those spots.
You know how talented a guy like Devontae is, but when he's coming off injuries the way he is, just what are some of the main hurdles that you're kind of looking for him to pass to kind of get back to who we expect him to be, who we know him to be?
Yeah, I think for a young guy in particular, when you add the injury component, we tried to force feed him a little bit when we could a year ago. It probably wasn't completely fair to him, to be honest with you. But there's only one way to get better. It's game reps, and obviously to get those game reps, you got to do on the practice field. And so, certainly was not 100% last year, but had a good spring for us. And then I think just as you get the cumulative reps, the confidence comes with it. And you see so many different things. The nice thing for him, as he's been healthy, it was kind of supposed to be on a pitch count in spring, and then very, very quickly, kind of came off of that and kept going, which allowed him to have a good spring in terms of volume. Same thing into the summer, which we didn't get a year ago. Either of those two things. And then been healthy and working, and could not be any higher than on Demond. I mean, now you got to go do it on Saturdays. We understand that, but been very pleased with him. So it's an exciting young player.
It seems like Tackett's getting a lot of run with the first team right now. The scout team expects he's going to play a lot of snaps in week 1 against him.
Yeah, he'll have a major part of the defense. A guy that's here in the spring and plays the game the right way. And could not be more positive for a freshman to come in here and learn, understand, but also kind of be the model of how you want a guy to play. And it's been one of those guys that the head coach has pointed to in team meetings just from an effort standpoint. Now you got to make sure he's going in the right direction. He's one of those guys that the direction is going to be the football eventually, right? So sometimes there's other responsibilities before you got to see him hit the thing, but that's a pretty good quality to start with.
Is that something you knew coming out of spring camp, or did injuries during fall camp kind of accelerate that?
Yeah, I mean, I think injuries in any position just give guys an opportunity to maybe get where they would get 4 reps in a period, they get 8 reps in a period or something like that. Now you got to be smart that way, that you're not overusing guys. But no, it gives a guy a chance to all of a sudden, instead of running with the 3s early on, he runs with the 2s, or the 2s with the 1s, and that the expectation goes up, right, as the group goes up, type of thing. And so. No, he's taken advantage of that, and I think he's, like I said, a very good young prospect that we're excited about.
Has Jameel exceeded expectations coming over from Georgia State?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think for all those guys we bring in, I mean, you bring them in with high expectations. Now what's the ceiling on any of those individuals? And I say those individuals being transfers, right? You've seen a body of work on film, but as we say, if the body of work was elite, they would no longer be in college. That's how it works, right? So there's still something that we got to work towards, but been very pleased with him just from a consistency standpoint, a competitive standpoint. He's strong. He's a former skill guy that, and some of those guys still think they're skill guys, type of thing, which is okay. Likes to rush the passer a little bit, but which we need that too. So I've been pleased with him. So to answer your question, we're getting some games and really get a sense of it, but been pleased with him thus far.
Alex, you've talked about the expectation, the standard that you want to set for this defense. Obviously, late last year, things didn't meet that particular standard.
Sure.
Going into this, year, a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, just from week one. What do you kind of expect from this defense? What do you expect from yourself heading into kind of a pivotal season?
Yeah, I think every season is pivotal. I think, and every season is new, right? We don't get credit. I know you're probably referencing the 3 losses, and just on the same note, we could reference the 11 wins, and we don't get credit for those going into the 23 season. So, what you got to do is you got to make sure you coach the 23 team. You got to coach these guys, and it's new scars and old scars and all that, and they have theirs, we got ours, but also those are tremendous opportunities to reference and learn from. Obviously the fourth quarter deficiencies last year, to think that we haven't highlighted those and circled that and made a major emphasis would be inaccurate, which had a major impact. As we tell the guys, 15 minutes can change the whole season, and you had a couple weekends that way, 30 minutes on that 12-month scale, 30 minutes, 45 minutes changes your entire world. And so just having an understanding of that. And so what that does, I'm just referencing that as much as anything, because you got to learn from those things and reference that. But no, awfully excited to get on the field with these guys, and we understand the challenges this weekend.
You talked a lot about tackling last season and that one guy who kind of has to finish the play. Where is your group at in terms of those categories?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've tackled as much as you probably can, responsibly. I know you can obviously go off the deep end and maybe hit too much type of thing, and we're all trying to find what that balance is. One of the things that we did this off season, in spring ball and fall camp, is we've gone to the ground every single day. Now, we're not taking bodies to the ground every single day, but we felt like it just needs to be more commonplace that at the end of a play, as a defender, that you're not on 2 feet, and so that's a small thing, but that just gives you, it's all comes down to small things. And so that's one of the things that we've done. And so, but you got to do it on game day. You got to make sure that as best you can, you try to get multiple guys to the point of attack. Spread offense, as you mentioned, scrambling quarterbacks makes it very difficult to have that on every single down. And one of the things that we worked really hard at is defining. We talk about expectations, but also defining, what right execution is, and then on the other side of it, what would be wrong execution, which would be the errors. And, sometimes you quantify as a mental error, and I don't know that that's accurate. And sometimes you can say that it's, missed assignment. I don't know if you ask the guy what the assignment was, he would know. And so we've defined it as expectation errors as much as anything. If you don't expect yourself to be at the point of attack or expect the ball to be in the gap, there's not a magic coaching point that's going to get you in that position. So we can tell you where it is, but you got to expect to make the play when you get there, type of thing. And so some of that comes with reps, and some of that comes with experience and confidence and all those things. And then beyond that, we got to make sure that we take the practice field, but do right on the practice field and take it into games. But that's what game one is all about. Football requires tackles, so let's not be surprised by it.
Let's do one more. What has Mason done to earn captain status on this defense?
Yeah, just we've from a character standpoint, checks every box. From an effort standpoint, checks every box, and then from a execution standpoint, that I just mentioned, expectation errors, and that's kind of been the thing that we've circled and shown the guys in defensive meetings, and that said, no, that's an expectation error, and no one can fix an expectation error. This is this is the scarlet letter as we define it for the guys. If you don't expect to make a play, the answer is to get you off the field. And so I bring that up again just simply because Mason is one of those guys that expects to make the play on every single down. And you can see it. You can see his mentality. I think that it is one of those things that not just as a coaching staff we can see it, the players can see it. And so that creates kind of the model. He's been the model since he's been here. And so been very pleased with him up to this point. So excited to see him go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.